So I watched a video recently that helped shape my mind when it comes to Call of Duty World War II. And Call of Duty in general. The question is Call of Duty dead? And more importantly, is Call of Duty Zombies dead right now? We're going to be specifically talking about a few games here. One is Black Ops 3 that we're going to be seeing in the background the entire time, because that's what I'm currently playing. I'm not currently playing Call of Duty World War II. But this video that I watched definitely changed my mind. So we're going to talk all about it. The guy's name is Exclusive Ace, and he titled this video "Is Call of Duty Dead?" And he basically goes about the player numbers and says everything about Call of Duty World War II that's going down. So I'll have him linked down in the description box below, so be sure to check that out. Now look at what I just got. I got the Permafrost limited edition camo. That's only available right now, and it's about to end. There's only 2 days left by the time this video is published. Anyways, this is an event that's happening with Operation Snowblind, and I love it. This is a new event that Treyarch's holding down, and this is the final day that I could play in order to get double crypto keys. In order to earn this, I got it in a daily double. Just wanted to stress that I earned this camo. I actually didn't buy it. So you're going to see me rocking that in the first half of this gameplay, but let's talk about Black Ops 3 for a second, and hopefully we can answer this: is Call of Duty dead right now? On March 10th, 2018, 4 million people logged in to Call of Duty World War II. So we're going to talk about that for just a sec, but then we'll get into Black Ops 3. Now, that's just who logged in. There were 4 million people from March 1st to March 10th of this month. That's that recent. 4 million people logged in. Now, of that 4 million, during the weekly leaderboards, 2.9 million people, you can search it for yourself, played one match this week. And that's completed a match. So, the weekly leaderboards are showcasing 2.9 million people that did play Call of Duty World War II. So, that's a lot of people actively playing. So if you're wondering how many players Call of Duty has active right now, it's about 3 million. And that's a lot of people to be playing your game. So Call of Duty for sure has a huge fan base right now that's playing, and that's Call of Duty World War II specifically. Now Black Ops 3 was booming, we know this. Guides and tutorials were doing well at the beginning of the season. The season pass was great. The ending to Revelations definitely killed the hype. Okay, so in the zombies community I'm talking about specifically. There were interests in the storyline afterwards, but then custom zombies did happen. The best thing to happen after Black Ops 3 was custom zombies. It gave us some time to try other maps that people once created in World at War and Black Ops. Following the world record runs, people got hyped. That was a new website that came out. I mean, it's been out, but people really became aware of zombie records. Lately they've been, people can't trust them anymore, you know, they'll upload their own gameplays and not post yours, even though you give them your record, because they try to beat it. At least that's what I've heard. So I don't even play with it, but it got really hyped. World record runs are still a thing, and it's not always affiliated with the same website. They're just the most popular one, okay? In the free world, the new world that we live in, many other people are going to become just as great, that are going to build a website better than them. So, if they're doing some sketchy shit, that's where they'll lose their opportunity. The idea of it, though, world record runs, did make it thrive. And IW Zombies gave us some fun maps to play, that's for sure. There was potential there, but it was a repeated formula. So I would say replayability did lack, even in Infinite Warfare's highest period. Once the Easter egg gets solved, all the hype does die down. We know that that's the worst part of zombies, and the replayability factor struggles once that hype is down, because there's just nothing left to do, and we all know it. But some innovation that we saw happen on Treyarch's end during the Black Ops 3 season, it was during the DLCs. We have those dry periods, right, where there were DLC weapon drops that were also incorporated into the mystery box. I'm just going to name off some of them, because I'm not going to name off all the melee weapons, but I will name some that you'll recognize. Of the SMGs, the HG40, the nail gun, the HLX4, the PPSH, the AK-74U, the XMC, which is like the MSMC, potentially the best weapon in the game, and it's DLC related. You have to actually pay for it or get it in supply drops, so you're not guaranteed to have it, but the MSMC version in Black Ops 3 is called the XMC. Now, assault rifles, the MX Garand, which I don't know, I wouldn't call it an assault rifle, but FFAR, Peacekeeper, LV8, M16, Galil, KVK, which is the AN-44, 94, I believe. The shotguns, there's the Banshee, the Olympia, the R70 Ajax, which is the only LMG. That's not a shotgun. The Ajax is an LMG. The RCA Interdiction, that's a sniper, and the DBSR 50. So we got some DLC weapons. Oh, some other ones, the pistols, the Marshall 16s, the Rift E9, and the 1911. And the launchers, which no one cares about, the L4 Siege and the Max GL. God forbid you get those in a goddamn supply drop. What you're seeing right now, I guess, is we got an infection lobby, and I was able to talk to him, and we got the other guy on the opposite team. He's working with us. We're trying to spawn the Nuketown mannequins, you know, that Easter egg where they all come alive. You can't actually do this in a public lobby. It's deactivated, and we debunked that in this actual lobby. So hope you guys enjoy that in the background while we talk about, is Call of Duty dead right now? The answer is actually no, but I'm going to go on further to explain. At the end of the video here, my goal is to help us achieve a certain way of thinking about these supply drops, and you can let me know if you agree or disagree. I'm open to both sides, but let's continue. The Season Pass rewards. There were free weapons, but they really began in Black Ops 2 with the Peacekeeper SMG on DLC 1. The next notable rewards really weren't introduced until Infinite Warfare with the daily login bonus and all the base variants that were added as the DLC came along. The Season Pass for Call of Duty World War II offers nothing extra outside just not having to worry about it DLC to DLC. You just download it. You don't have to buy it, because that's what the Season Pass provides automatically. So it's been stripped down that far. As a side note, the Division system was Sledgehammer's answer to Black Ops 3 Specialists. Considering the time period of World War II, they wouldn't have special abilities like Specialists in Black Ops 3. So Divisions, I believe, was a good answer for Sledgehammer. Some people did say it ruined the created class system, but that's debatable. Something else that's debatable too is if IW had better specialists than Black Ops 3. Let me know what you think about that. Now let's talk about supply drops. My question is, will all the gear on our character be customizable? And I mean that in the sense of not just having a head and a body piece. In Black Ops 3, our specialists only have a head and a body piece, and we could change along with 2 different subclasses per specialist. So each specialist had 2 different subclasses that you could choose from, and those were your abilities. But on those characters, you'd be able to customize them as a whole with a head and a body piece, but that was it. The body piece wasn't separated into chest armor and leg armor, it was just one piece, and your head was the other piece. So will it be further customizable, and will the supply drop system get better because that's a thing, and it will take up more space? Because we're really concerned with what's taking up that space. I'll talk about that here in a little bit, but I want to talk about party games. Since COD points have changed since Black Ops 2, my question is, will wager matches ever return? Is that ever a possibility? It's definitely something on the top of my mind, because COD points are what they are now. They're not the old COD points that we had in Black Ops 2 where we could wager those, but I don't see us being able to wager actual money. But an in-game currency like keys, now that's something I can get behind. Infinite Warfare perfected the shared currency between zombies and multiplayer. Without that, and having them as 2 separate currencies, we had crypto keys in Black Ops 3, and we also had liquid divinium. With those being separate and not shared, we really have an issue, because we really want that to be shared. It's way easier that way, and it feels like it's part of the same game. And we want to feel like we're part of the same game. The zombies community does. We also want prestige rewards just as much as the multiplayer guys. Innovation on non-duplicate protected epic supply drops is my answer to that, and also for weekly Easter egg rewards. We'll talk more about that here in just a second, but for prestige rewards, it's important that we note that that needs to be a thing, because every prestige needs to bring something new to you, whether it be an attachment, something you can bring with you and make you a better player. That there should be a purpose for prestiging and making you a better player each and every time. And I think non-duplicate protected epic supply drops, or whatever it is, in World War II it happens to be heroics, but an epic supply drop in Black Ops 4, something like that is needed. Maybe even a weapon bribe if bribes come back. Let's talk about DLC events. We know with every season pass there's 4 DLCs. Every 3 months or so we get new content, but those dry periods always come right after the Easter egg gets solved. We just mentioned that earlier. And talking about zombies, it's really important because it's a big part of Call of Duty now. If you multiplayer guys weren't aware of this, we're a big part now of the whole package. So knowing both sides is very important. For seasonal events, double XP and weapon double XP is something that occurs, and that's what really brings people in. But not as much as currency events. And I'm talking double crypto keys, which we just had in Black Ops 3, double keys, which we would have in Infinite Warfare. COD WW2 just has nothing for double currency. What's with that? Should have double armory credits or something, right, that you could get. But it's confusing. I don't know, they set it up to just strip it down to the bare minimum. I don't get it. But these events, the currency events like double crypto keys, double keys, that brings more players in more than anything. So when they're there, they need to have fun. Now, super Easter eggs are definitely something I want to talk about, but this cannot take away from the active loot grinds that need to happen and updated DLC drops that need to happen, okay? Those have to happen in between, and they need to work both for multiplayer and both for zombies. Let's talk about the super Easter eggs real quick. Black Ops 3, our reward was an RK5 pistol with extra half mags on both of our pistols. So you just start out as a really good player with an extra weapon. In IW Zombies we had Director's Cut, which came with the camo as well. But the important thing to note about Director's Cut is it gave you an ability. So we had an overall advantage over players who didn't achieve this. So achieving a super Easter egg is important. It makes you a better player in the game. And I believe Infinite Warfare Zombies did pull this off the best. Better than Black Ops 3. Because it did give you this ability of 25k credits. And you'd have that any time. And you could share those credits with your friends. You had perma perks, which means every time you went down, got back up, you'd still have your perks, full perks, perkaholic, and also double pap. And this is an overall ability making you a better player. So Lee Ross really nailed it here on the super Easter egg. I just wanted to bring that up because I got no clue what World War II Zombies is going to bring to the mix. And something I wanted to note about this is that I'm not sure what I want to do because I did drop World War II Zombies pretty much after the Casablanca. I still haven't achieved that yet, but you know, DLC 2 is something I'm not really hyped for when it comes to Call of Duty World War II. But I might be for the multiplayer depending on this update. So a change you might see here on the channel, at least until we get to Black Ops 4, is a drop in the zombies content because I'm not liking World War II Zombies at all. And rather than just being negative, why don't I just cover the multiplayer segment until Black Ops 4? You know, we got Red Dead Redemption 2 coming up, but Black Ops 4 is going to come before that. And I'll have news updates on both, but I want to stay primarily active in some community. And the one that's really alive right now with about 3 million active players is Call of Duty World War II. So I believe the calling I'm supposed to have right now is for multiplayer. And I'm just going to take full advantage of that and practice up for when Black Ops 4 gets here, so that way my channel is just good and ready, and you guys are used to the type of content I'm pumping out, and you can tell me what you want next. But this conversation doesn't end here. We got a lot more to talk about. This is going to be a good video. So the most beautiful steps in innovation that's been taken so far really started in Black Ops 3 with the daily contracts. As you know, they were currency based. You got liquid divinium. You'd get your currency of crypto keys. You'd get bonus drops. But I think more than that can be earned, where supply drops on your daily contracts, just like we're seeing in World War II, Call of Duty World War II, you're able to earn these orders and turn them in for supply drops. I think you should be able to earn about 5 or 6 a day. And that's what kind of the pattern that we're seeing happen in Call of Duty World War II. It can only get better from there. Social score is, of course, questionable. I don't know if that's going to be something that we're going to see return, if there's even going to be a social space. A lot of people are against it because they think it's actually causing more problems than anything. But I think it's a good idea and it can evolve one step further, and I want to see Treyarch's take on it. I think it can be better. I just think it wasn't executed correctly with what we're seeing in Sledgehammer's production. Now with weekly contracts, I want to talk about my new idea, which is Easter egg challenges, and this rewards duplicate protected epic supply drops, ones that you would get special weapons from, special something every time, and you would look forward to this. And it happens once a week, and it's an Easter egg. It picks a random Easter egg. Whether you're on DLC 1, it would be the first map, or DLC 1, and with modifiers, so it would make it harder and more challenging, but the rewards would be that much better. And that's what I think is needed for us to stay active in this community. And also, on a side note, we need one Easter egg challenge per week, and on a second reward as a high currency challenge. So that's worth about 5 supply drops at one time, but we need a high currency challenge and an Easter egg challenge, which, if you want to talk about Easter egg challenge, DLC weapons or variants are good rewards for that too. Now, monthly contracts are something that needs to go down. If we introduce monthly contracts, this is something special. A special vendor that brings a competitive event that's based off rebuyable scorecards. Think about this. You have to go flawless with a certain amount of wins on your scorecard. Say it's 10 out of 10. You have to win 10 matches in a row to fill up your scorecard. If you lose a match, it takes it off, and maybe you can have and buy certain bonuses that protect you, so you can have one loss on your scorecard. You know what I'm saying? And you need to fill it up though, all the way. If you get 10 out of 10, you can turn it into this special vendor, and you will get really amazing loot. That's why only the best of the best will be able to achieve it. That's an idea I have for monthly contracts. Feel free to steal that, Treyarch, if you're listening. But I'm going to end this video on a really strong note with the supply drop system overall, and how I think some of the things we're seeing just aren't good. The fillers, which are calling cards, and in Call of Duty World War II, they have 2 sets of calling cards. Ones are higher tier, but they're the same calling cards. One's just with a golden border. I don't know why they just duplicated the same calling cards and did that again. It's really shady. So is pistol grips. These are fillers, right? Black Ops 3 we had gestures and emotes that filled up spaces, and XP modifiers that we're seeing now, like double weapon XP. But the events is what we should be looking forward to, that are public to everybody, knowing that it's happening and going down, rather than this being just fillers in our supply drop system. That doesn't make sense. I haven't seen many camos come in the supply drop system for Call of Duty World War II, and camos are awesome. Why don't we have camos? I know you want to stay close to the theme, but damn, no one's created enough to make some really good camos yet, or what? What's up with that? When it comes to attachments, I think attachments were something good that was put into the supply drop system, but they weren't good in the sense that they did anything. They just looked different in Black Ops 3. They should have weapon perks attached to them. So we're used to having weapon perks on our actual guns. Let's take that off and just put it on the attachment specifically, so we can look forward to opening certain attachments in our supply drops. Make our supply drop system worth it and rich. That's what I want. Our character gear, whether it's separated into leg pieces, chest pieces, head pieces, I want variants of those that have abilities too, and make you good in both multiplayer and zombies. And changing the gear out, whether you're going into zombies or not, is what'll make it really fun, is being able to do that. So having separate ones on the same character, being able to take them off and take them on, is what I want. And fire team XP bonuses. So if we're going to put anything in the supply drop system, let's have it benefit the whole fire team that's with us, not just ourselves. So if it's double XP, have double XP for your whole team, not just myself. Now, the higher rank you are, shouldn't better supply drops be coming to you? Is anyone asking that question? My other question is, the longer you play, the play time, shouldn't that play a factor in you getting better supply drops? I just think that the current system doesn't work, and that's why there's negative feedback coming in and out so much with Call of Duty. I don't think it's dead. I think with 3 million players, it's very healthy. And just to sum this up, I think the only thing that people are really disagreeing with and hating, even if they're playing the game right now, it's just the loot system. And it's just not good, and there's not enough events occurring, and there's not enough love being put into this like Fortnite has. And that's what's needed. And I hope Sledgehammer steps up their game and Treyarch brings some heat here with Black Ops 4. If you enjoyed today's talk, be sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe. Activate that bell icon. Stay up to date with all my latest videos and uploads. and patch notes. I do cover a lot of patch notes for both multiplayer and zombies. That's something you might become fond of. I'll see you in the next video. Violent out.